Ladies and Germans, how you all doing? This is Khan over coming to you with some more Company of Heroes 2 1v1 action. Today, I warn you, this game might get a little salty. I don't know 100% myself how this will go, but spawning up here in the north, it is the Wehrmacht forces of VonAsten. He is bringing to the fray Mechanized Assault Doctrine, Mobile Defense Doctrine, and Osttruppen Doctrine. So if we're lucky, we can see lots and lots of Eastern Europeans fighting each other here, because down in the south, playing as the red-trunked Soviets appropriately, we have Barbarossa, though his name is decidedly less Soviet than his troops. He, of course, is bringing to the fray mechanized support, shock rifle frontline tactics, and interestingly, defensive tactics. Now, this thing has that M42 light AT gun, but you never really tend to see it. It's a super early game kind of call-in commander tree, and it could definitely be utilized to do some blocking forces here and there, but I honestly have never seen it used in-game. Barbarossa, though, opening up with a special rifle command, getting more penal troops on the field. That's, again, like I said before, going to be a very common tactic moving forward from Soviet players. VonAsten, for his own point, is starting out with an MG42 followed into a Grenadier opening. The map itself, of course, is Longerskaya. I'm getting the sense here that the penal troops are going to get such a buff that no one's really going to want to go for those conscripts anymore. Or I haven't seen a lot of Soviets go for conscripts since the penal troops started getting their intended buffs. That's not 100% on that after all. Now, Barbarossa goes for a very early lock-in for mechanized support, so getting those PTRS guards is probably going to be a big part of his earlier game. Maybe looking to skip the ZIS guns and just go straight to a tank heavy battalion command. And with the guards on the field, that should be pretty easy for him to do. Now, VonAsten is going instead for a couple of grenadiers, and of course, both opponents are moving to their own gas expansions. Now, Barbarossa gets his up another, 15-20 seconds before VonAsten, but that shouldn't be too much of an issue, assuming, of course, VonAsten redeploys his machine gun effectively to suppress this kind of enveloping Soviets. Worth noting that these grenadiers are coming up the western side of the map, maybe looking to stop the expansion from the Soviets. I don't know if that might be 100% the case. But as of right now, is a 2-0 advantage in favor of the Soviets, and will continue to be so for a little bit longer yet. Now, this particular replay, when it was discovered, what's it called? VonAsten versus, was it? Oh my gosh, I can't think of what it's called. But let's just say there might be, like I said, a little bit of salt in this one. VonAsten, realizing that his troops might get outshot or outmaneuvered by the Soviets, is going for a very early-ish sniper. He's not going to transition up to battle phase 1 just yet, preferring to get a little bit more anti-infantry capability. And considering the early game right now and the 3 penal opening of Barbarossa, all 3 of which are in this general region. Excuse me, 2 of them are. I kind of, for some reason, thought that this mine right here was being laid down by penal troops. It makes no sense, though, doesn't it? Oh, but Sniper coming in, going to support fire onto these penal troops, and the Grenadiers coming in, going to take initially a bad engagement, out in negative cover. VonAsten's got to be on top of that. Never mind, the offending model goes down. So, minor problem there, but you know what? They're going to scamper across the road and pick up this strap point, and with now the Sniper over here, he should be able to even up this firepower soon enough. Oh geez, he's getting outflanked here, but nope, penal troops are going to get forced back. Sniper already has himself 3 kills as well. Although both Grenadier squads have been pushed back into the German base,
the enemy is firing on our HQ.
This Sniper should be able to get a good amount of work done if he's not too foolish. Okay, one more shot and then out of there. Gotta go. Can't stay there. Can't stay there. The Sniper's going to take a ton of firepower, and he gets away. There we go. Phew. Combat engineers, though, get what they need to get done. They cut off the German resource management.
The new Grenadier squad is ready.
But Grenadiers are pouring out of the woodwork, and this could be enough to see all of the Soviets forced away. Try to think about where this machine gun is. Machine gun's going to get a couple bursts of fire on these combat engineers as they retreat, but not really a whole lot to be too concerned about it. I'm surprised that neither guy is really teching up too much too quickly. We're finally going to see that coming out from VonAsten now. 5 minutes in. He's down to about 50 tickets already, but that's not too terrible. And that mine has not gone off. No, there's no mine here. Oof, but this sniper should be able to get at least one kill on retreat. My friend, stop and take a shot. Smell like coffee. Any second now. No, wow, apparently snipers don't always hit. Very, very uncommon to see that, but it does happen. Machine gun in the meantime will go. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez, he's not going to get out in time. There goes this machine gun. And machine gun goes down to a well-timed satchel charge. And first blood to Barbarossa. Quite definitively, mind you. Also, there's going to be a mine or two down here for teller mines, of course, so if there's any sort of earlier game expansion to a T-70, or even perhaps later on, we could see that paid some dividends. But the important thing right now is that the Germans have themselves back into supply for their resources. Grenadiers, though, in the meantime, are going to find themselves running afoul of two penal troop squads, and without the support of either grenadiers or even machine guns or anything really, the Germans are going to be forced away rather quickly. But you know what? He's getting what he needs to do. He's going to take away this field point as these guards come into the field. They're going to be coming up to the north, maybe to the west over here to kind of cancel out this grenadier push. But that is just a supposition on my part. Sniper in the meantime gets his 6th headshot of the game. Starting to do work on these peanut squads, and that's exactly what he's made to do, just to bleed away manpower slowly and surely. And with the help of that machine gun back there as well, penal troops are forced back, and Germans can safely take that strap point yet again.
The enemy is attempting to...
But penals are just continuing to beat up on these grenadiers, and it's always kind of offending to me that these convicts can somehow shoot better than the line infantry of the magnificent Wehrmacht. But you know what, like I've always said to you guys, I'm probably a little bit biased here. Penals continue their row of success, though. They're pushing back a squad of pioneers. And in exchange, are we really seeing not that much of retreating coming out here? We see a couple of squads being pulled back, and the guards themselves, they run afoul of that machine gun? I guess they probably did. But VonAsten getting a little bit of time to kind of reassess his position. But he needs to start taking these strategic points here. VPs as well. Sniper in the meantime, though, takes a shot, doesn't hit anything, and indeed he has, what, 7 kills to his name? 9 kills to his name, so he's getting some pretty good experience already. More guards deployed to the field, and this machine gun's going to have its work cut out for him. He needs to stay away from those buildings, as his first companion has now found out. But I like the mechanized company coming out as well. We're going to see a 2-2-2 might not be the best option here. But that's exactly what he's going for. VonAsten's bringing an early 2-2-2 to see if he can kind of negate some of that penal troop efficiency. VonAsten is finally threatening to take away these positions. Oh man, he could have taken that VP. Why did he not do that? Unfortunate. In the meantime, those Soviets will take the eastern fuel. Germans are going to trade out for the western one. And again, the Soviets have a slight advantage in terms of fuel economy. Guards coming up to find themselves getting taken shots from the sniper, and they're just sprinting on forwards. I'm wondering if this 2-2-2 is going to try to slide in and stop this push against the sniper.
The enemy is taking our...
But this could be decidedly deadly for the 222, as it is already. Those PTRSs, excuse me, I'm always going to say that for some reason, I don't know why. PTRSs are going to cause quite an issue, and kaboom, there goes a damaged engine right there. So he's got to back up right now or lose that loyal 222. Now, looking at veterancy for a second, penal troops somehow get a ton of veterancy for not that much action, but yet VonAsten's managing to keep pace with him, although one of his stars of veterancy is in fact on a very, very vulnerable piece of equipment. Also worth noting is that the T-70 is now on the map, and Barbarossa is going to have a somewhat destructive edge and firepower on this one, forcing a Pack 40 out from VonAsten. And while the Soviets are finally losing tickets to the Germans, there's this huge swath of infantry coming up the center part of the field. Worth also noting, though, in the meantime, though, that a squad of penal troops has finally gone down. And this... oh my gosh. And the sniper might go down as well. Yep, he gets fried. Poor Poor sniper. 222 in the meantime, going to come in and around and might be able to circle strafe that guy to death if he's lucky. But it will not be the best opportunity, I don't think. In fact, we're going to see a push by this T-70 to take out the 222. One more shot will do it. But will a shot come in from Pack 40? Oh, misses just short. Just short. That could have been a brutal, brutal hit. We have a grenade coming out on top of these penal troops, going to be suppressed over here, but a grenade in turn from the guards will wipe out a grenadier squad, and VonAsten is, well, he's in a really, really tough spot right now. He's lost a ton of his infantry. And probably going to lose this squad as well. There's so many guys firing at this poor guy. Yep, he goes down. So VonAsten has 1-star veterancy on the field, so it's a little bit better. 2 stars of veterancy, no, excuse me, 4. And a economy that's sliding more and more towards guards. But VonAsten says, you know what, we're going to go mechanized assault on this one. Which could be a good idea. You're just maybe stalling out for that 7 command points to bring in the Stug. And with the Stug, might be more than enough to take away at least the T-70. Though the T-70 is going to have a bit of mobility advantage over the heavier Sturmgeschütz.
Isolated sector.
Now, these penal troops are coming up here. They're going to throw out a satchel charge. Doesn't happen, though, and indeed...
Our HQ is under attack.
Where the heck was the cover on that one?
Enemy forces are securing
Interesting.
our territory.
So we're trying to figure out how the Soviets are able to get inside the German base sector so easily. If you look down here to the south, similar approaches are covered by machine guns very, very easily. Indeed, there's 3 of them. So I don't know, was there a satchel charge that went out early on to take out the German defensive position? I don't know. And that's a little bit unfortunate, because I really kind of wish I knew how he was able to push that effectively. Germans will lose their fuel point, though, to the Soviets over to the east, and that's going to be just the guards themselves taking it, at least decapping, if nothing else. And VonAsten is just bringing in more and more grenadiers to kind of soften the blow. And it's not looking too good for our valiant Wehrmacht player. That Pack 40 continues to miss, too. I don't know why. I think it was dreadfully accurate otherwise, but just on this map, it seems the Pack 40 has tons and tons of issues. At least it's good to know for the Germans is that with all the penal troops getting picked off, well, 1 squad of them at least, the ability of satchel charges coming out drops dramatically. And that's a lucky, lucky thing for the Wehrmacht, because they cannot afford to lose any more infantry to unlucky satchels. VonAsten is a good chunk of the way up to his Sturmgeschütz here. And a grenade comes out. Oh no. Whew, he makes it out in time. And then the German defenders rush right back into that garrison. A couple of LMGs firing out on those guards, not enough to take them down. And indeed, we see again just blob play, which I think is not a particularly high level in terms of skill, but Barbarossa, I guess, just trying to use the Soviet tactics to their fullest. Sturmgeschütz, there we go. Sturmgeschütz comes out, and that will be easily able for him to push back this T-70. Oof, and this machine gun getting more than enough work to at least suppress and slow down. Wow. Wow, I was wrong. Never mind. All this stuff is just rushing on forwards. But the Sturmgeschütz is just rolling over people and coming under a lot of buttoning fire as well. So he's got to get out of there right now or else he's going to lose it. Want to see another Sturmgeschütz? Yes, we do. But these guards are probably going to take out one of them. That'd be very, very frustrating, I imagine, for the German player.
One of our machine guns has been sunk.
And, whew, never mind. They're going to try to take out this machine gun before they are taken out in turn. But Barbarossa, one squad is getting hammered. They do finally take out that machine gun. And I imagine this pack is going to be recrewed. So super, super brave Sturmgeschütz doesn't take out really any vehicles, but rushes in and crushes a bunch of Russian infantry, and that brings VonAsten back into this, allowing him to finally have an army size advantage over the Soviets. Now T-70 putting some firepower into the Strug as well as all these guards, and I don't know why he maybe chased so deeply into this. Besides, it's probably better for him to back away, and he does so. But not before putting in a couple of impotent rounds into this machine gun emplacement. A little bit of FU from the Wehrmacht off to the Soviets. 387 to 407, 15 minutes in. VonAsten is back into this. Not easily, mind you, but he's back into this. And he's realizing how much he desperately needs to bring in that machine gun to keep the Soviet wave tactics at a minimum. Also, we're going to see a support weapon compania, so a Zisgun is in fact going to come in out of Barbarossa's camp. I mean, he dropped a squad of guards, so that's a nice solid win right there for VonAsten. But I'm wondering if it would not have been better just to call more guards in. It's not like the Zisgun's going to be able to utilize its artillery ability to the fullest.
We are losing supplies to the enemy.
Neither will the Zisgun be as good against infantry as the guards have the potential to be. And in the meantime, though, okay, so the Brave Strug is now fully repaired. The other Strug is just kind of waiting for some kind mechanical help. And again, this massive push of infantry overloading like crazy on this western side. Are we going to see any sort of Panzerfaust? No, we're not. VonAsten backing away before that happens. Strug in the meantime trying to put pressure on this infantry, and Pack is rotating over here to the east in case that T-70 gets frisky. But T-70 realized it's probably a really stupid idea to do that. But once again, back in base, and these grenadiers are going to get shot to pieces. Strug trying to crush and not really getting what he needs to do. Instead, actually even opening up more avenues for the Soviets to come on in. At least it picks up a kill, and that's important, right? While the Soviets take the middle part of the map with a Zisgun backing up their play. Wondering if VonAsten might want to bring in a third Strug and just have a nice little roving anti-tank patrol here. Coming under fire, though, from the Zisgun. Not a good place to be for him. And indeed, between the guards, which are can just button that thing like crazy. Oof, that would not be a good thing. Now, this light arty barrage could be rather effective if he can get it into play. The Germans are slightly up on tickets as well. But, ooh, T-70 runs over that Teller mine that's been there since, I don't know, a long time ago. And kaboom, he goes down. So now Barbarossa is in fact forced to use the AT guns as opposed to depending entirely on infantry. But with the death of that T-70, the AT guns don't have any real support outside of a couple of infantry mines here and there with the TM-35s. And that's not going to be enough. Now, VonAsten, I've noticed in the meantime, has not pulled off any medic bunker for any reason, which I think is more than a little bit of a mistake here. Not sure what's firing over in that area, but it looks like the Zisguns are trying to find... No? Not sure why VonAsten's firing in this area, but he is. Alright, redeploying over here to the west. First round comes in from this a little bit more vetted up Sturmgeschütz, and that's a good hit right there. Where's that machine gun now? He's setting up behind the German line, looking to suppress anything that might be coming forward. That's, I guess, a good play. I guess VonAsten is going to try to stall out for this Tiga late game, but he's got to get the ticket play back in his control here. I'm not suggesting rifle grenade is going to be the only way back into it, but it might be a good idea. And Pinot Troops going to find themselves suppressed, and that is a good, solid position for the Germans to benefit from. Maybe if you can get one of them pinned, it'd be great. But no, both of them retreat, and the Zisguns are forced to back away. And all four squads of Soviet infantry is being forced into very rapid retreat. Zisguns are actually backing away, not taking a full retreat. Never mind, are they? Maybe. I guess instead we're just going to see Germans looking to retake portions of the map, and VonAsten for some reason is just not desiring to pick away this thing. Could have decapped it rather easily. Yikes, and he discovers a TM-35 mine with his feet, unfortunately. And machine gun is hunkering down on top of this middle VP. Good position for him to be in. And finally, this This gun can put in some light artillery fire, but it would be better served using it for its intended purpose. And indeed, they are going to force it away, throwing out 60 munitions, while his brethren just kind of sits over here waiting for some German armor to move in. Does not seem like that's going to be VonAsten's play, though. Instead, he's just keeping his Stokes back. Keep them kind of, a little bit of a roving death force if he really needs them to be. So if he can move in on the AT guns from either position, as in if these AT guns slide forward to go from here and here at the same time, both facing to the east, the Stokes can move in from the flanks. Of course, with all the guards on the field, that's a decidedly less attractive proposition. Especially since Barbarossa is just doing tons and tons of human wave attacks.
Our DPs have arrived. Now the enemy will...
Alright, Sniper in the meantime moving on forward. Is he trying to just use him against his AT gun? Because that might not be the best, most efficient targeting opportunity here. Now, this gun doesn't quite have these guys in range, which is kind of amusing to me. But he's encouraging them to move forward, and if that happens, that is not going to be a healthy prospect for the Stroke. Sniper doesn't even get a shot off, he just bowls back in the face of all that extra potential firepower. Guards in the meantime are going to move around to the left, and then how the heck is there any way through there? There should be something to stave that off. That's ridiculous to me. But it seems that the Zis gun is going to find the Stokes in the flank. These Grenadiers need to make sure they can keep their Sniper alive. Might be difficult, though. Medic Bunker is out, though, and it's going to go and start to heal up this Sniper. And is this gun not pushed back necessarily, but is suggested to move back from the potential flank by two Stokes. Unfortunately for the Germans, that has given the Soviets a small opportunity to move in and just retake all the VPs, indeed putting pressure on top of these pack guns as well. Not that the Soviets really have any armor for the pack guns to even shoot at, but still worth noting. Anyway, grenade coming short, not going to really do anything besides maybe some HP damage, and indeed nothing happens from it. Guards go back savaged almost unto death, about, what, 9% health? And the Germans can safely expand yet once more. But 23 minutes in, and the tickets are not quite plumb even, but they were a couple seconds ago. And indeed, we are getting closer and closer to that Tiga. 20 fuel is all it's going to take, so another minute, VonAsten will be able to start expanding out to his desired level of engagement here. The level of engagement is, of course, just whoop everything known to mankind. Only thing that Soviets can even bring back in would be the ISU, and it can be coming in, but another, 50 manpower? So it's going to come in a little bit early before the Tiga. But the Strokes and the Pack, and soon after that, the Tiga, I don't think that the ISU will be able to take all of them on. The thing is quite a brute, though. Unfortunately for him, he is not able to go one or the... Oh no, he is going high X. Oh, this is going to be brutal for the infantry, but the Strokes should be able to deflect it, at least until the Tiga can come out. Germans have the advantage in VPs yet again, able to push and take that out. Wait, are we going to hear... Are the Germans hearing this at all? Because I do not know. Yeah, he can hear it. He might not know where it is necessarily, but he can hear that bad boy. ISU is going to switch back to armor piercing. He's not going to go for the concrete one. But I think going into high X might be a better idea as opposed to going for the infantry on this one. There's been a very, very low veterancy game, to be fair. A lot of infantry just keeps getting savage like this. One shot pounds this poor guy almost into paste. And the Stroke just kind of throws himself in front of the ISU saying, hey, shoot me instead. I don't want you to go after my little buddies. And VonAsten is going to be forced to keep another minute going by, or two even. High X not going to do much. until this Tiga can come back out. And I somehow missed the other Stug going down, so forgive me on that one, folks. But some Soviets are getting traded out instead, and these packs are finally just starting to slowly take down this ISU. Now, where did that other Stug go down? I was just totally focused on something else, so forgive me that, guys. Soviets rushing forward to the attack, and I'm thinking, though, the second the Tiga comes out, the ISU is going to be either dead or a hero. My guess is dead, because I don't see him being a hero today. Try to find that Stug. Was there a mine that got placed down? Was there just an ill-fated attack? Okay, so he died down here, so maybe the Zisguns just happened to take him out in a very, very unlucky confrontation. Tell their mines in the meantime, there are still no mine detecting equipment over here for the Soviets, and that's not a good place to be. And apparently a indirect bit of fire has caused that teller mine to go off, which evaporates a good chunk of that guard squad. Another minute, though. Another minute before the Tiga comes out. Packs, in the meantime, will find themselves accosted by these guards. But this machine gun's going to keep everybody pretty safe, allowing this sniper to continue taking headshots. And here comes a precision bombing strike. Oh gosh. Gotta run, gotta run, gotta run, gotta run. He's going to get out in time, I think, though. Yes, he does. So all those munitions for naught, unfortunately, for the Soviet player. And another, what, 60 seconds, another 40 seconds before we can get this Tiga coming out. And the second that comes out, I don't think the Soviets can have anything left that can successfully compete with the Germans. They do have an MG42 out here, and indeed still do have a couple of these anti-tank guns. But, what, did he reinforce his anti-tank guns instead? No, he didn't. Here comes that Tiga, though. Any second. Fire the Tiga! There comes the Tiga. Strug is going to find itself in the wrong position, though. And if he could, I'm sure he'd just be throwing down this light arty barrage right there. But Tiga coming in is more than enough, I would imagine. And the Pack 40 are going to start throwing rounds in this ISU with reckless abandon. Machine gun goes down, so that's lucky right there, but the Zis gun in turn will probably take out the Stug. And Barbarossa has to know that his troops are heavily outclassed. This ISU is just going to get circle strafed all day. And the Zis guns are not going to be enough at all. Yep, there goes the engine. Engine's been hit. Was that by a Panzerfaust? Yes, it was. So this ISU is completely screwed. And once that's done, there's nothing that's going to be able to stand up to the Soviet war machine. And then Barbarossa realizes that, and he surrenders. So in 28 minutes and 9 seconds, VonAsten takes out Barbarossa, just hanging on long enough to bring back in that heavy tank. I think it's just right here. Okay, I was like, what? That looked like a pack gun that was somehow able to be picked up. By the end score, though, 341 to 326, VonAsten takes out Barbarossa, and a very, very surprising match. A low veterancy match as well. But nevertheless, well played on both sides. A little bit unlucky for Barbarossa, but it might have been better for him to stop doing the Soviet war wave play and be a little bit more tactical with his troops, moving to frustrate the German resource generation like he had in the early part of the game. Nevertheless, that's going to be it for me today, folks. Thanks you so much for tuning in. I will see you all soon. This is Conor signing off. Take it easy, everybody.